All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another NBA regular season video. We got two games from Wednesday night that I want to talk about here. Cavs going to Boston to play the Celtics, and the Lakers going to Minnesota to play the Timberwolves. We're going to break down the game a little bit, talk about some things I noticed, talk about the stats, and all that good stuff. So if you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have your own opinions, comment down below. And if you just like vibes, consider subscribing. So we're gonna jump right into this game. But first, I do want to say it is raining here where I am. So if you hear the rain in the background, I apologize. It's kind of let up a little bit, but it was pouring just like 10 minutes ago. So if you hear it in the background, I'll try to pause it and wait till it passes. But it might be here for a little while. So yeah, let's talk about this first game. This was a coast to coast Wednesday. Wednesday, yeah, coast to coast Wednesday, yeah. We had the Cavaliers in Boston to play the Celtics for the first game I want to talk about, and then Lakers in Minnesota to play the Timberwolves. The Celtics won their game 125 to the Cavaliers 105. And I'm going to get this out of the way right here at the top because it's going to be a constant theme when I talk about this game in particular. Um, the Cavs' effort was just horrendous this whole game. It was absolutely god awful, horrendous. And I felt really strange watching this team because as somebody who monitors these teams and knows what their cap situation is and their second and first apron situation is, this team has no room to make any trades. They can't make any trades. They can't get anybody off the waivers. This is their team, and they are missing a lot of guys. They're missing, I believe. I mean, we can just pull up their injury report. Right? They're missing a lot of guys. They lost somebody after one of their first couple games too. They're missing Sam Merrill, Darius Garland, Max Drew, so their guard depth is just gutted right now. But the effort I saw from last night and the things I saw and the people that did step up, there were some people who did step up and they looked really good. Oh my god, ESPN changed their stat layout. Oh my god. I just looked at it. They changed their points on the left instead of the right now. Okay. Good to know. Um there were some positive things for some of the what would be role players when the starters do come back, but the vibes just were not good. And I get that last year they went off to a really hot start and they looked really good and the energy was high, the vibes were high, but they don't seem to care about that this year, which is fine. I mean, you don't have to care about your record in the regular season too much. You do want to keep it high. You do want to stay with home court advantage. But these are the games you sort of want to try to edge out a bit more because the Celtics aren't somebody that's going to compete for a championship this year, but they are going to be very annoying for one if they make the playoffs, but two if they match up with certain people, they're going to be very annoying and they're going to make the series go like 7 or 6. And it's going to be annoying when you know you should be the better team, but they beat you once in the regular season, so they know how to beat you in the playoffs. So these are things that are just slightly worrying for me. Some positives for the Cavs here. Evan Mobley looks good for about half a quarter, and then the other quarter he looked really bad. He looked very shot happy. He looked very not knowing what to do, so he would just throw up a shot. And I didn't like Evan Mobley's second half. His first half was really good. He ended the game with 19 points, 11 rebounds, um, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 7 of 19 overall from field goal, 2 of 8 from 3 point. The 3 pointers were bad. He was taking way too many of those things, and I get a lot of your offense is out, Darius Garland, Dean Wade, not Dean Wade, Max Strus and Sam Merrill, the guys that would normally take those shots are out. Um, and Donovan Mitchell didn't have the best game either, but he's a big guy. You got to get your back to the basket. You got to get some good hook shots, some good post moves, and I know it's a bit annoying to go against Nemez Keita and Xavier Tillman who played 4 minutes, and then who else we got here? We got Luca Garza. I just felt like the Cavs were just so annoyed that they were just like, okay, we're just gonna throw this game away. We'll flush the tape and we'll call it a night because they gave up way too early in this game, and we'll get to that more later. But the Celtics hung on enough through the first half to really make it competitive in the second half, and then take over in the second half. What they did in the first half were the building blocks for what they were about to do in the second half, and it showed. They kind of wore the Cavaliers down, and I think they knew like the Cavaliers weren't as mentally strong because like when Donovan Mitchell doesn't have it going, and Donovan Mitchell's like the engine for this Cavaliers team, and he can't like Donovan Mitchell, I'm saying, can't like puff out his chest and like walk in and like hit like two shots in a row, three shots in a row, hit a three, and then like it's another 15-point game for the Cavs, 15-point lead for the Cavs. When Donovan Mitchell doesn't have that going, this team is very flat. This team is very boring. This team is very, very simplistic, and that works when you're ahead. Like you cut DeAndre Hunter's threes in half. He took 12 of them, made three of them. He takes six, he makes three. Good. That's a good night for him. 50%, right? You cut Evan Mobley's 3-point attempts in half. He's 2 for 4. That's a pretty good shooting night for him. Um, Jared Allen um, gets six more rebounds. He had six this game. He gets six more. He has 12. That's a good game for him. Was it 16 and 12 would be a good game, but it's very concerning when you do have the positives of like, okay, some of these players that wouldn't normally be rotational, wouldn't normally be deep rotational players that are now starters are getting good looks, and they're getting um, time to develop, and get confidence. Jalen Tyson, 19 points, um, where is it? Craig Porter, 7 points. I mean, Lonzo Ball, 3 points, 5 assists. Not the best, but he's. I'd rather this happen now for Lonzo Ball than later in the season. So there is room and there is excuses for error. Um, and their ball movement was really good. The Cavs ball movement was surprisingly good, considering that like you would think, oh, everybody's out. It's just Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. And then you have like Jared Allen, the run, jump, dunk. You have DeAndre Hunter, sort of the cutting 3-point 3-and-D guy, and then you have Jalen Tyson. Um, you would think the ball movement would be a little flat. The ball movement was really good in the first half. It's the second half where people started just chucking up shots and taking shots way too early in the shot clock. Larry Nance took was it three just unwarranted threes just right into the shot clock. Um, and then the Celtics went on a run in the first half. At the end of the first half, um, and then the wheels started to come off for this Cavs team. They just came completely off. The Cavs only made 7 threes, or somewhere around that in like the second half. They only made like 7 to 10 threes in the second half, which is unacceptable. Which is, I mean, I know you're missing your shooters, but like Dean Wade's supposed to be a shooter. Like Lonzo Ball is at least supposed to make like two of his like 5 threes. He made one of five. Craig Porter made two of three. DeAndre Hunter is supposed to be a way better shooter than this. 3 of 12 is inexcusable, unacceptable. At least make five of them things. And um, Donovan Mitchell had a horrendous second half, horrendous, and he came into this game with some calf tightness, and they cleared him to play, and he wanted to play. I think he thought he was going to be playing like an easy game, like they were going to roll over the Celtics. No, he really had to go out there and play, and at some points he was sitting on the bench for long, extended periods of time because I think he just needed the rest because he didn't think it would be this hard to beat this version of this Celtics team. And he did not score in the second half. Um, I have a note here that he didn't. He was still scoreless with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth, so he didn't score the whole third quarter. Um, if I can, I could pull up his shot chart if I really want to. Here, let's see. Uh, play by play. Let's go players. Let's go Donovan Mitchell. Um, let's go. Yeah, yeah. Donovan Mitchell did not make a shot at all in the second half. And again, the Cavs just sort of gave up. it sounds crazy to say. The Cavs just kind of gave up. Kenny Atkinson, their coach, just threw the scrubs in there really early. At the end of the fourth, and the story of this game was the Celtics just wanting it more. Guys like I never thought I'd say it. Josh Minot wanted it more than Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. Um, Derek White obviously wanted it more. He's known for his grit and grind. Jalen Brown, unquestionably the best player of this game, 30 points in total, leading both teams in scoring. And then one of the biggest surprises for me was freaking Luca Garza, G League legend Luca Garza, wanted it more. Um, and this is the tale of two teams where like both teams are dealing with injuries. We'll just say it that way, right? And one team just wanted it more. They understood the moment. They understood what this game could mean at All Star break at the end of the year. Games like this this is gonna be almost every night thing for the Celtics, where they're just gonna have to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, because this team isn't built to just blow teams out. I mean, they blew them out by 20. They blew the Cavaliers out by 20, but that was like again the Cavs pulled their stars early and put in the bench, so like the Celtics kind of ran up the score, but guys like Luka Garza, Josh Minot, Derek White, Nemez Queta, um, Sam Hauser, like just guys who weren't in this rotation last year are now in this rotation, and some of these guys are starting, and they just want it more. They want to prove to everybody that hey, I still got game. um, Cavs gave up, man. Cavs gave up, and we'll get into why the Cavs gave up. We'll go into some Celtic stats here. Josh Minot, 11 points, 15 rebounds. Josh Minot had 15 rebounds. This Celtics team is one of the worst rebounding teams in the league right now, by the way. And this starting lineup has never started together. Also, this starting lineup for the Celtics would this be Pritchard, Minot, or Pritchard, White, Minot, Brown, and Nemez Queta have never started together. This is the first time they started together, and they whooped the Cavs' butt. Um, 11 points for Josh, 15 rebounds, 3 steals, one block, um, 4 of 9 from field goal. The Mezquita 10 points, 13 rebounds. Derek White 19 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Jalen Brown 30 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Payne Pritchard 10 points, 10 assists. Wheeling and dealing out there. Sam Hauser 21, 7 of 13 from three. He blew the doors off He blew the doors off the Cavaliers. Really crazy game from Sam Hauser off the bench. Luka Garza 10, Anthony Simons 14, also a big boost for them in extending the lead that they had. And yeah, that was it for this game. The game came down to the Celtics wanting it more. And I'm sort of vaguely. It's so early. It's so early in the season. This is such an early like worry thing, but I'm kind of worried about the Cavs, man. Because like guys are already injured. Donovan's already a little dinged up. I know it's just like a calf strain. He'll be fine in a couple days. Might have to rest the game if you really need to. But um, this team has no lateral moves. This is your team. This is it. This is it. And stuff like this can happen in the playoffs. It happened to them last year. Are we just never gonna see this team fully healthy when it matters, or just like ever this year maybe? I don't know. We'll see. That's a conversation for like All Star break, and we'll see what happens then. The far better game, the late night game, um, Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Los Angeles Lakers won this game 116 to 115, um, on a oh boy, on a Austin Reeves game winning floater jumper, bottom of your screen right there. Um, Forgot to mention middle left Luca Garza, middle right, Jalen Brown. But Austin Reeves, game winning shot, sending the Minnesota Timberwolves packing home, um, silence the home arena. And man, oh man, has Austin Reeves been on a tear. And I said this in my last video. I said, if I'm thinking about this team after LeBron and after like in like 5 years, right? If I have Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, right? I feel really good about my team. Austin Reeves is like ascended, and some people are saying like he's on like a Linsanity run, like a Jeremy Lin run in the mid 2010s, um, where he's gonna come back down to earth. And I would say this was his come back down to earth game. He didn't have a great game. He was 3 of 11 from three. He was 9 of 24 overall from field goal, but he had 16 assists. He only had 3 turnovers. Um, let's see, he only had one personal foul. He had 28 points in 40 minutes. He played some really good defense. This was his comeback down to earth game. Like in the grand scheme of things, like compared to his other games over the course of the last couple days, um, these last 3 games, including this one, are outliers to what he normally does. But in in the how do you say it? In the line of these last couple games, this is the down game. This was a bad game for him, and what was going on over the last couple days. Um, we'll get into Austin Reeves more at the end and stuff. I do want to talk about the notes I have here a little bit. Um, the first half was back and forth. It was really back and forth, and I don't have any notes about the first half. It was just back and forth. They were slugging. It was a boxing match, for lack of a better term. But in the third, we jumped to past halftime and into the third quarter. Lakers, Jake LaRavia. I almost said the Jakers, the Jakers. um, Lakers, Jake LaRavia with the game of his life. Um, 27 points, um, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 6 from three, 10 of 11 overall. Started getting towards the stat line in the third quarter. He started hitting some crazy threes. He started finding his shot. He looked really confident, and I was sort of like I didn't know about Jake LaRavia. I'm not a Jake LaRavia fan. If you're a Jake LaRavia fan out there, shout out to you. But Jake LaRavia was like an unknown to me. Like I knew he was on the Grizzlies, and he didn't really get a lot of PT. I knew he was on the Sacramento Kings, and he did okay. But like this game was crazy. This is an outlier for him. We're talking about outliers for Austin Reeves. This was an outlier for Jake LaRavia. I think he averaged like his career averages for points is 13. So him getting up to 27 is crazy. Um, the Lakers dominated the third. That's when they really started blowing it open. That's when they started to look really good. That's when guys like Rui Hachimura, Don't Connect, um, DeAndre Ayton even started looking really, really good. They started like putting it on thick a little bit. But the Wolves, they answered back. The Wolves answered back a little bit. Um, at the end of the third, a little bit of the fourth, and then about midway through the fourth, when it starts getting near crunch time, stuff started going flat. It started going really south for the Wolves. And, some of the heroes of this game, or the attempted heroes of this game, especially in the fourth and in the third, um, Jaden McDaniels with 30 points, Julius Randle 33 points, Dante DiVincenzo had some really clutch shots down the stretch that we'll get to, or that in the course of that little run in the third and into the fourth. And some down the stretch, 14 points for him, 3 of 5 from three. And then, Bones Highland had a little moment. I talked shit about him last video, and now he had a little moment this game. 2 of 3 from three, 8 points. Rob Dillingham, 8 points. Naz Reid was not effective at all this game, looked really bad. That's the only negative for them. Really, I mean, Rudy Gobert always looks bad when you play a team like this Lakers team that gets up in pace. So we will talk about Rudy Gobert. Um, and they looked bad. It looked like the game was over for the Wolves. And then, and then, towards the end of the fourth, it started getting a little closer. It started getting a little closer. The Wolves found their offense just in time to make it close, to make the Lakers sweat a little bit, like just enough. And that was courtesy of like guys like Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, Dante DiVincenzo, like I said. Um, and when it got to crunch time, it got to some real crunch time after I believe the Timberwolves. They got 1 point away from leading the game, and then there was a backdoor cut um, from I believe it was Jaden McDaniels who backdoor cut on DeAndre and DeAndre and fell asleep on the defensive assignment, and it gave the Timberwolves the lead. I believe that was the shot that gave them the lead, if I remember correctly. DeAndre and otherwise in this game, besides falling asleep literally on that one play, had a really good game. 17 points, 10 rebounds, like I said. Um, really good stuff. Actually, no, that was the shot that gave them um, that put them 1 point away from the lead. It was the next shot, a Julius Randle clutch shot, a little shake and bake, a little dribble, go to my right hand, go to my left hand. Um, Julius Randle drive into the lane and hit a clutch shot that gave the Timberwolves the lead, 1 point lead, going down to crunch time, 10 seconds left. And then it happened. The Austin Reeves game winner. Is this his first game winner of his career? It probably is. It probably is his first game winner. Um, Austin Reeves. Let me break this down for you, right? So the Austin Reeves, DeAndre and pick and roll was working the whole game because they had Rudy Gobert out there for the Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert, terrible, notoriously terrible in the pick and roll. You put him in a pick and roll, it's a death sentence for him. It's the death sentence for the guy guarding the ball handler. Um, what happened was the Lakers go to do this out of timeout play. Rudy Gobert fouls Austin Reeves because he was going to get put in the pick and roll. The Lakers take their last timeout. They reset, right? And I don't think they changed the play. I think it was the same play. They just took the timeout to reorganize, right? Because you don't have anybody there who's used to this kind of big moment. I guess it's just a bunch of guys and Austin Reeves who's been on fire. Um, so and pick and roll with Austin Reeves, Rudy Gobert and DeAndre and Jaden McDaniels on Austin Reeves. Pick and roll. Um, DeAndre and sets the pick. It gets Rudy Gobert pedaling backwards. It gets Jaden McDaniels on the back of Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, Jaden McDaniels got caught on the pick. Then what you see is everybody starts to collapse. There were like two additional black jerseys. Those two additional black jerseys with Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. They try to close in on Austin Reeves. Excuse me. Try to close in Julius Randle on DeAndre Ayton to prevent a floater, to prevent a putback, and um, Austin Reeves went for the floater, and it went right over three black jerseys, three Timberwolves. It went up, it went in, it fell. Game over. Shot clock expires. Um, the Wolves tried to do everything they could to prevent it, and they couldn't do anything because Rudy Gobert got caught pedaling backwards, was not long enough, was not smart enough to get in Austin Reeves' face quick enough. Um, Julius Randle was in a bad position. Dante DiVincenzo came off of his guy in the corner to try to help, and then yet Jaden McDaniels on the back of Austin Reeves, and it was game. It was game over. You can see in the bottom here, you can see what I'm talking about. Jaden McDaniels, number 3, behind Austin Reeves, and then Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert on the bottom right of your screen, caught in that little motion right there. And then I believe the picture's cut off, but Dante DiVincenzo's over there too. um, so yeah, that was the game, and I do want to give some flowers to the Timberwolves. Like I said, two 30-point games for the front court here: Julius Randle, Jay McDaniels. Don DiVincenzo came alive in that run that they had towards the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth. Had a couple clutch shots at the end of the fourth, was not enough. Mike Conley showed up a little bit, 2 of 4 from three. Rudy Gobert was a nothing burger. Nas Reed was a nothing burger. When your two main paid centers, Rudy Gobert and Nas Reed, are getting worked by like DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes, you have a problem. You have a problem, and the Wolves are going to have to hold on here for a little while without Anthony Edwards, and the Lakers might get Luka back sooner rather than later, and the timetable is looking good for LeBron to make his return for the Lakers. And I don't know, man. I don't know if you need those guys. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You need LeBron. You need Luka to make a deep playoff run, but this Lakers team is looking good, man. There's a lot of positive steps, and No, the thing for Austin Reeves, I think, is about confidence, and he's had a lot of confidence over the last couple of days. And um, Coach JJ Redick said about Austin Reeves, he's become a guy, like a real killer, And these moments for Austin Reeves are going to pay off in the long run. You might have a couple more really good games, or really superb games, I should say. Here, there's what is it? This is like this game 3, 4, 5. It's like 70 something more games left of the season. There's about 10 more really great Austin Reeves performances coming. I feel it. Um, Especially since they're probably going to rest LeBron, rest Luca. Austin Reeves might even get some rest at some point for the stuff he's been doing. But Austin Reeves has ascended. He's here. Um, and yeah, and as the rain starts to pour, um, I will leave that here. But I do want to talk about the standings here just a little bit. In both conferences, we have four undefeated teams. Those teams are the Chicago Bulls, 4-0 in the East. Philadelphia 76ers, 4-0 in the East as well. Um, in the West, we have the undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder, 5-0, the reigning champs. And we have the undefeated San Antonio Spurs, 4-0. And then the rest of the field for the East, Miami Heat, 3-1. Milwaukee Bucks, 3-1. Cleveland Cavaliers, 3-2. Detroit Pistons, 3-2. New York Knicks, 2-2. Charlotte Hornets, 2-2. And the Atlanta Hawks, 2-3. Um, Atlanta Hawks star Trae Young went down with a knee injury. Somebody fell on his leg, so we'll see if he's okay. And then Celtics 2-3 on the season as well. And then heading back to the West, Warriors 4-1, Denver Nuggets 3-1, Portland Trailblazers 3-2, Memphis Grizzlies 3-2, Lakers 3-2, Jazz 2-2, Clippers 2-2, and Houston Rockets 2-2. Yeah, that is the standings right now. About I'd say about our first like full weekend, counting last week as well. So yeah, you guys will get a video this weekend. You guys will get a video on Monday. This weekend's video will probably be a WNBA video talking about the CBA. So maybe talking about some college basketball too. There's some new rule changes as well for women's college basketball. So we'll see what those are. And yeah, there are games tonight. There are games on Friday. There are games on NBC/Peacock on Saturday, so you guys will get videos about that for sure. And we'll wrap up like we normally do on Monday. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.